Hi guys! Welcome back to Engineer Prof PH. Sa mga hindi sa akin nakakilala guys, my name is Raymart Bonete. I'm a licensed mechanical engineer. At the same time, I'm a full-time faculty instructor in mechanical engineering. And at the same time, I do vlogs here on YouTube. So yung mga contents ko guys are lecture videos for engineering, mathematics, and sciences. Yung mga subject natin sa College of Engineering. And I also do personal vlogs like tips on how to pass the board exam, tips on how to study effectively. Personal vlogs as long as it's related to engineering and of course, it's related to myself. Bago ang lahat guys, of course kung bago ka pa lang sa channel na to, i-click mo na guys yung like, yung subscribe button, and yung notification bell para ma-notify ka sa mga future videos natin just like this video. So I'll just wait for you guys, i-click niyo yung subscribe button, mag-aantay ako. Okay na? So after you click the subscribe button guys, proceed na tayo sa topic natin. So ang topic natin for today is about the fundamental concepts of physics. So yung fundamental concept natin or yung mga basic concept natin guys sa physics ay magagamit natin siya sa mga higher maths natin like differential equations and yung mga applications natin, and of course yung thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, strength of materials, statics and dynamics, gamit na gamit yung fundamental concepts of physics. So, step by step lang tayo guys, no? Para maging madali sa atin yung mga subject na pinag-aaralan natin sa College of Engineering is that we need to understand the concept first before we go to the problem solving or yung mga formulas na ginagamit natin. We need to understand the concept behind those formulas for us to fully understand actually the concept. So, yung pinaka-importante guys. So, without further ado guys, tara discuss tayo. When we say physics guys, this is the science that deals with the structure of matter and then yung interaction between matter. So sa physics guys, kung marirecall natin, if you have undergone the subject physics in college or in high school, ino-observe natin dito yung behavior ng matter if forces are applied to them, the effect of gravity to objects, and many other factors that affects the behavior of that matter. So that is physics guys. In this video guys, we are going to discuss about the introduction to basic concepts in physics. So this video will scope unit conversion, distance versus displacement, speed versus velocity, and the last concept is what you call the acceleration. So, mag-start muna tayo sa unit conversion. So, ano ba itong unit conversion na ito? Kapag sinabi natin guys na unit conversion, this is the conversion of your SI units or your international system or metric system to English units and vice versa. So, bakit importante yung unit conversion? Sa physics guys, we always encounter units. So, ano yung units? Units actually define your numbers. For example, we have here unit of length, let's say 4 meters. I-convert natin to a unit of inches. Okay, so yung meter is an SI unit, then yung inch is an English unit. So, paano natin i-convert yung 4 meters to inches? So, gagamit tayo ng conversion. So, yung conversion natin is that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. Then, you have here 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So this is our unit conversion. In order for us to convert 4 meters to a unit of inch, which is an English unit. So 4 meters times conversion from meter to centimeter, then centimeter to inches na. So we have here 100 centimeter per 1 meter. So kung ano yung i-cancel natin, dapat yun yung nasa denominator. Then ito, centimeter na yan, i-convert natin centimeters to inches. Okay, so we have here 1 inch per 2.54 centimeters. So itong 100 centimeters is equivalent siya sa 1 meter. So mag-cancel na yung mga units natin dito. So this will cancel out here. Centimeter will cancel out. We have here the unit of inches. So this is just equal to 4 times 100 divided by 2.54. Then we have here a unit of inches. This is equivalent to 157.48 inches. So therefore, 4 meters is just equivalent to 157.48 inches. So that's how you convert units. You just need those equivalent units. So you can visit guys my Facebook page. Nag-upload ako doon ng mga notes and these kinds of topics. So, pwede siyang ma-download doon sa aking Facebook page. So that is facebook.com/engineerprofph. Another example guys, let's say we are going to convert, let's say 10 kilograms. So this is 10 kilogram mass. So always denote if it's a mass or it's a force kasi magkaiba yung mass and force, okay? So kilogram mass, convert natin to pound of mass. So ang kilogram is an SI unit for mass and yung pound mass is an English unit for mass. Okay. So let's say convert natin 10 kilogram mass to pound mass. So yung conversion natin is that 1 kilogram mass is equivalent to 2.2046 pound of mass. So therefore, we have here 10 kilogram of mass, multiply natin sa conversion. So that is 2.2046 pound of mass per 1 kilogram of mass. Okay, so this unit kilogram mass will cancel out and we leave here a unit of pound mass. Yun yung required dito sa ating second sample problem. Okay, so 10 times 2.2046 pound mass. So this becomes 22.046. We have here pound of mass. So therefore, 10 kilogram of mass is just equal to 22.046 pound of mass. So that's how you convert units. Just need the equivalent units, then perform the conversion. So next problem tayo guys. So let's say dito, we are going to convert here volume. So volume natin, let's say convert say 15 liters to cubic feet. 1 cubic meter, that is just equivalent to 1,000 liters. Okay, so we have here another conversion. So 1 meter is equal to 3.28 feet. So 15 liters, i-convert muna natin siya guys to cubic meter. Then cubic meter to cubic feet using this single conversion. Okay, so we have here 15 liters times 1 cubic meter per 1,000 liters. Okay, mag-cancel na yung liters. Leave here cubic meter na unit. Then, from cubic meter, convert na natin siya to cubic feet. Gamitin natin itong conversion. So, 3.28 feet per 1 meter. So, notice here na may cube tayo dito. So, i-cube din natin yung conversion na yon. Okay, kasama yung 3.28. So, this is equivalent guys to 0.529 cubic feet. So, that's how you convert units. So, you just need the unit conversion, then apply that equivalent units. So, ito guys, distance versus displacement. Na-encounter natin to palagi. But some of us, medyo nako-confuse tayo sa difference between distance and displacement when it comes to physics. Okay, so when you say distance guys, this is the total length that is traveled by a certain object. For example, so this green box here, let's say it will move from this position, no, from this initial position. Say it moves 8 meters. Let's say it moves 8 meters to the east. Okay, so north, south, east, and west. Okay, north, you have here south, east, and west. So it moves 8 meters to east. Okay, so after it moves 8 meters to east, okay, nandito na siya at that final position here. Then, from this final position, gumala ulit siya papunta dito ng, let's say, 4 meters. Okay, so yung distance natin, so the total distance traveled by this box here, this green box here, is actually 8 meters plus 4 meters. So that is equal to 12 meters. So therefore, distance is actually the total length that is traveled by that object. So i-add mo lang guys kung ilan yung length na travel niya. But displacement here is another thing. Okay, so displacement is actually the distance from your initial position to your final position. So kung dito guys, gumalaw siya ng 8 meters to east, then bumalik siya sa west ng 4 meters, therefore yung displacement niya is equal to 4 meters only. So bakit? So the distance from this initial position to this final position here is just equal to 4 meters because you traveled 8 meters to the right, then you go 4 meters to the left. So this 4 meters here is a negative value. So this is just your number line, guys, yung sa ating Cartesian coordinate plane. So the main difference between distance and displacement is that distance is just a scalar quantity but displacement is a vector quantity. So distance only has magnitude and displacement has magnitude and direction. So yung 4 meters, i-consider natin yung symbol niyang negative because bumalik siya sa west. Therefore, yung displacement natin, displacement is equal to 8 meters minus 4 meters, that is just equal to 4 meters. So that's the difference between distance and displacement. Another example, guys, you have the object here, it moves to the east, move siya sa east ng 2 meters, then nag-move siya sa north ng say 2 meters also. So this is your final position. So this is initial position, this is your final position. So therefore, the distance between your initial position and your final position is this arrow here. Okay, so this arrow can be solved using your Pythagorean theorem since this is a right triangle. So this is your displacement. Okay, let's say displacement, say d sub I na lang. So the d sub I here squared is equal to the sum of the squares of these two sides. We have here 2 meters squared plus 2 meters squared. So d I is equal to the square root of, you have here 4 square meter plus 4 square meter. So di is equal to the square root of 8 square meter. So di is just equal to the square root of 2 meters. So that is the displacement from your initial position to your final position. So that's the difference between distance. So sa distance natin, that is just your scalar quantity. It only has magnitude, and the displacement, it has magnitude and direction. Okay, so that's the main difference between distance and displacement. So let's go to our next concept. So we have here another concept. It's very common to physics, guys. No, this is speed and velocity. So speed is a scalar quantity, then velocity is a vector quantity. So scalar means it only has magnitude, then vector means it has magnitude and direction. Ang speed natin, let's say speed equals 8 meters per second. So speed is always positive, guys. For example, ang velocity naman, say velocity is 8 meter per second going to north. Okay, so this is a vector quantity. It has magnitude, that is that 8 meter per second. Then it has its direction. We have here north. Okay, so this is the difference between these two concept. Now, ano naman yung difference between the average speed versus we have here average velocity? Average speed, so average speed is just your distance with respect to time. Okay, so distance divided by time. But average velocity, guys, average velocity is your displacement divided by that time to actually cover that displacement. For example, guys, from the starting position, okay, from the starting position, nag-move tayo to east at a distance, let's say 6 meters. After we move 6 meters here, okay, nag-move tayo to west at a distance of, let's say 2.5 meters. Then this movement here covered a time, let's say time of 2 seconds. Okay, so what is the average speed And what is the average velocity given this movement of this object here? So nag-move siya to the east 6 meters, then it moves to the west at a distance of 2.5 meters. So going to the concept of average speed, it is just your distance divided by the time. Okay, so yung average speed natin is just equal to 6 meters plus, i-add natin, that is the total length na na-travel niya, 2.5 meters divided by yung total time natin to cover that movement, that is 2 seconds. So ang average speed natin is equal to 4.25 meters per second. So ito yung average speed natin. Now what about the average velocity? Okay, yung average velocity natin is the displacement divided by time. So average velocity is equal to your displacement. So ang displacement natin is 6 meters minus 2.5 meters because it went to your west. So it is a negative direction, okay? Sa number line natin, divided by the total time, which is 2 seconds. So the average velocity of this movement, so the average velocity is equal to, so this is equal to 1.75 meters per second. So that is the difference between average speed and average velocity. So the last concept that I will teach you guys is the concept of acceleration. So ano ba yung acceleration? So first things first, acceleration is a vector quantity. Okay, it's either positive or it's either negative. Okay, so illustrate natin guys using figures. So pag sinabi natin acceleration, let's say we have here an object. Let's say an object. Let's say this is a bus here, a bus. So I'm not that good in drawing, so pardon my drawing guys. Say we have here a car. Okay, let's say we have here a car. Now, let's say that this bus, okay, from 0 meters per second, it went to, let's say 25 meters per second in a span of, say, 5 seconds. Okay, and this car here, let's say from 0 meters per second, that is from rest, it goes to 25 meters per second also at a time of, let's say, 4 seconds. So in these two figures guys, which do you think has a greater acceleration? Okay, so based on this analysis, if this bus here went from rest 0 meter per second at rest siya to 25 meters per second, 5 seconds niyang nagawa yung transition na yon, and yung car natin here nagawa niya yung transition na yon from 0 meter per second to 25 meter per second in just a span of 4 seconds. Therefore, the car here has greater acceleration compared to the bus, because when you say acceleration, it tells us how fast the velocity of a certain object is changing with respect to time. So yung ating acceleration is defined as it's the velocity per unit of time, or yung ating velocity dito is just the change, okay, the change of velocity per unit of time. So that is your final velocity minus initial velocity per unit of time. It tells how fast the velocity of a certain object is changing with respect to time. Yung acceleration ng bus is just, you have here 25 meters per second, that is your final, minus initial na 0 meter per second, divided by the time, which is 5 seconds. So that is 25 divided by 5, so that is 5 meter per second per second. Or kung isimplify natin, that is 5 meters per second squared. Okay, going here to the car, yung car naman, 0 to 25 meter per second. So you have here the acceleration of the car is, you have here 25 meters per second minus 0 meters per second divided by the time, which is 4 seconds. That is equal to 6.25 meters per second squared. Okay. We can say here that these two vehicles are speeding up because the acceleration is positive and the velocity is positive. So tatandaan natin yung guys, no. If the velocity, you can say here, if the velocity and we have here acceleration are both positive, it is speeding up. If it's both negative, it's also speeding up because it's in the same direction. Okay? If the velocity and acceleration is in opposite sign, it is slowing down or decreasing. So this is speeding up and this is slowing down. For example, guys, we have an object here. So it is moving to the east at a velocity of, let's say, 5 meter per second. And then yung acceleration niya, let's say 1 meter per second, or this is 1 meter per second squared. So this is going here to east. Okay, so this is both positive. So we can say that this body here, okay, is speeding up. Then we have here velocity and acceleration. We have here time. Okay, at initial time 0, we have here 5 meter per second. Okay? So yung acceleration niya is positive 1 meter per second squared. So that is constant here. Now, after 1 second, nagdagdag siya ng 1 meter per second. So we have here 6 meters per second. Then after 2 seconds, we have here 7 meters per second, and so on. So we have here 8 meter per second. So nagdadagdag siya ng 1 meter per second. So therefore, this body here is speeding up. Okay, so bumibilis yung galaw nitong object na to because both velocity and acceleration are positive. So what if velocity is positive, then acceleration is negative? For example, yung object ulit natin, let's say, it moves at, we have here 5 meter per second velocity. Then, yung acceleration niya is, you have here negative 1 meter per second squared. So, it's directed to the left. So, at time 0, you have here 5 meters per second. So, yung acceleration natin is negative 1 meter per second squared. So, babawas yung ating velocity ng 1 meter per second in every second. So, we have here at 1 second, so we have 4 meter per second. We have here at 2 seconds, we have here 3 meter per second. Then, we have here at 3 seconds, we have 2 meter per second. Then, we have 4 seconds, we have 1 meter per second. Then, at 5 seconds, you have here 0 meter per second. So therefore, in a span of 5 seconds, this object here will come to a stop because it is decelerating. So we have negative 1 meter per second squared as our acceleration. So therefore, if a body has a positive velocity and negative acceleration, the body here is slowing down. Okay, what about yung sinabi ko kanina that if the velocity is negative and the acceleration is negative, the body is also speeding up. So if the velocity is negative, then your acceleration is, you have here negative also. It's speeding up because it's just going to the opposite direction. So for example, here we have an object moving at a rate of, we have here 5 meter per second. So those are negative because it's going to west. We have here acceleration of negative 1 meter per second squared. So going back to your table, okay, acceleration, so you have your time. So at time 0, you have here negative 5 meter per second. Then you have here acceleration of 1 meter per second squared. Okay? So elapsed time natin at 1 second, babawas ng 1 meter per second. So this becomes negative 6 meter per second. At time 2 seconds, we have here negative 7 meter per second. time 3 seconds, we have here negative 8 meter per second and so on. It will not come to a stop as long as it maintains this negative 1 meter per second squared. So it's accelerating just in the opposite direction. So therefore, if your velocity is negative, then your acceleration is negative, still this body is speeding up. So what if the velocity is negative, then the acceleration is positive? Okay, so for example, a body is, say, moving here at a negative velocity. So we have here negative, let's say 5 meter per second, the velocity. Then yung acceleration natin is projected here to the east at, you have here 1 meter per second squared. So going back to your table, so tabulating this, at time 0, so the velocity is negative 5 meter per second, then yung acceleration natin is positive, that is 1 meter per second squared. So after 1 second, mag-add tayo ng 1 meter per second doon sa velocity natin. So this becomes negative 4 meter per second. Add ulit tayo ng 1 meter per second. So at 2 seconds, this becomes negative 3 meter per second. Then after 3 seconds, this becomes negative 2 meter per second. Then after 4 seconds, this becomes negative 1 meter per second. Then after 5 seconds, this becomes 0 meter per second. So this body is slowing down. It's not speeding up. So therefore, if the velocity is negative, then your acceleration is positive. This body here is slowing down. We can conclude that if the velocity and acceleration has the same sign or they are in same direction, the body is speeding up. And if the velocity and acceleration has opposite signs, the body is slowing down. Okay, so that's it guys for today's video. So I hope that you have learned from this video guys. And don't forget to click the subscribe button guys kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe sa channel na ito. You can also follow me guys on Facebook. That is facebook.com/engineerprofph. And you can also find me sa Twitter and Instagram. Nandun yung link guys sa taas ng aking channel art. Then you can also follow me guys sa TikTok. I also do TikTok videos for educational purposes. So you can also follow me there. That is at Ingeniero RB. Thank you guys for watching this video. God bless and see you guys on my next video. Happy learning and God bless to all of you.